Today, we're going to be talking about a place called Persia. Well, at least it used to be called Persia. Back in the 16th century, before Iran was called Iran, it was called Persia, and it was part of the Persian Empire. And today, Iran, or Persia, depending on what you want to call it, is a landmass. It's a pretty large landmass, but back in the day, it was a much larger landmass. So I'm going to get Captain Crow, and we're going to break that map open again and show you how big that Persian Empire was. So, once again, right here is Iran. It's this orange one right here. It's right next to Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and kind of near India. But way back in the 6th century, it expanded to be very large, stretching all the way into Afghanistan, bordering up against China and India on the east. And on the west, it came all the way over down into Egypt, all the way across Turkey, or at the time called Asia Minor, and all the way near to Greece. And there's actually been some recent movies about the Persian army and some of their battles with the Greeks. And so that is what we are going to start with today, the Persian Empire and their battles with the Greeks. We've heard of the Battle of Thermopylae. That's one of the big ones where the Greeks won, and they had actually defeated the Persians twice. Too bad for them Persian guys. Good thing for the Greek guys. So they were never able to conquer the Greeks. But one of the things that we're going to be talking about the Persian army with is their bow tactics. So we learned about Odysseus, and he used a bow. But typically in a Greek army, bows and arrows were not very important. Bows were typically a tool for one person to go hunting for, or to do a heroic thing and defeat a heroic monster, or what have you, like Odysseus did. But in the battle, mostly it was about shields, swords, and spears for the Greek army. But for the Persians, on the other hand, they had one strategy that they used to conquer all of that land, and that was the bow. And typically, they would be using what's known as a composite bow. What's a composite bow, you ask? Well, a composite bow is a bow made out of many different materials. And so you're going to be using animal horn, animal bone, wood. You're going to be using sinew. You're going to be using glue made of animal parts. And you're going to be making the limbs of the bow out of those different materials so that it can bend one way and flex back the other and still hold its rigidity while still being able to bend. And so you would compile these different parts so that you could do that. Typically on one side, it would be a nice sturdy or stiff material, and on the inside, it would be a material that could bend very easily. And so this meant that their bows could be a lot stronger than just a simple stick bow that you could only pull it back so far before it would break. Theirs would be much stronger. And so that was what they did with their bows. Now, another thing they did with their arrows, which is very fun and interesting that I think, is because they're having a bow and they're putting it in many soldiers' hand, their idea is to have volume, which means lots of soldiers with bows and lots of them with arrows. And you don't want to run out of arrows, so you're going to have lots and lots of arrows, which means that the arrows that they're making, they don't care so much about how straight they are or simply necessarily what they're made out of. They're going to be made out of wood, of course, but they also might be made out of reeds. And so they're not going to be very heavy, they're not going to be very durable, and you're going to just have lots of them because a Greek soldier holds lots of armor. Typically back in the day, he was very well armored in comparison, which means you're going to have to shoot a lot of arrows there. And, well, if you're handing a bow to lots of people in this Persian army, not everybody is going to be the best archer there is. And so you're going to get a lot of them, and you're going to have them be shooting in what's called a volley. That's when everybody shoots all at the same time, so that many arrows can rain down on your enemy. Hopefully, a few of those will able to help you defeat your army and penetrate their shields or their armor. Now, another thing that they did as well to help defeat their enemies is they would do that really cool famous thing that we see in the movies. They would take their arrows and they would light the tips of them on fire and shoot them. Boo! Now, a lot of people talk about how that wouldn't be a very accurate arrow, but it would certainly scare your enemy, seeing these fireballs coming into your lines with your friends and your partners. That would be very scary. Fire is kind of a scary thing, and especially in battle with all the noise, it would be very disorienting. So, a little bit about the bow we just talked about. Another thing on that Persian Empire that was very big and vast for its time is their mounted courier system. And basically what this was is it was their type of post office. So a man would get on a horse and he would ride on the Persian road, and he would ride from one city to the next city, and when he would get to that city or that stop, perhaps he couldn't make it to the city all in one run with a horse, he would stop at a designated place where there were other horses, a courier system, and he would get on a new horse, and then he would ride on a fresh horse that had fresh legs, and ride that one to the next, basically, post office, and then ride a new horse, on and on, which meant that a single courier could travel 1,677 miles in the span of just 9 days. If you or me were to walk that would take us 90 days. It would take us 90 days to walk that distance. So, they also had horses as part of their culture along with the bow. And that also meant that they invented something other than just the composite bow. Because they're riding their horses, they also invented something that us, in the modern day, wear every single day. They invented pants! Because if you're riding on a horse, it's much easier to ride a horse with pants than it is to ride a horse with a skirt. We always see Greek soldiers, if we're watching those Greek movies about the Athenian peoples or the Spartan warriors, they're always wearing like a type of skirt. And even in the Romans, they're wearing togas or skirts into battle, essentially, even the men. And the Persians were the ones who invented pants. Because if you're riding a horse, the pants give you protection against that rubbing from the horse a lot better than just a skirt does. So, that is some brief history about that Persian Empire that was so big, like I said, the 6th century. But some historians will say that that very entity that was the Persian Empire lasted all the way up until 1796. So, was it a successful empire? I would say so. Remnants of it still remain today. If you were to go to Iran, you'll see lots of their different buildings and constructions, and what have you. And if you hear that crying, that is our little prince, Finnegans. He's a cat and he's upset because he's wearing a cone. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do a nice jump cut over to Captain Crow and hear what he has to say. So, jump cut!
Hello everyone! My name is Captain Crow for those of you who know me, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is also Captain Crow. So I am here today to tell you about the myth, the archery myth that Persia is most known for, and that is the myth of Arash. He was a Persian soldier who was part of the Persian military when they were fighting against the Tanarians. Now this is a myth, so this happened long before, this happened in their prehistory, so we don't know if an actual date for this happened or if he really existed. But, goodbye, sweet prince. But, we do know that there are many different versions of this myth. But the main thing that surrounds them all is the fact that first, the Persians and the Tunarians were at a really long war. And when the armies finally met with each other, both sides realized that they could not defeat each other. So they came up with a peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, the Persians were allowed to shoot one arrow. And however far that arrow traveled was going to be the new borders for the empire. So, according to the myth, an angel came down and told the Persian military general how to build a special bow. And with that special bow, to give it to his best archer. And that archer's name was Arash. And so the next morning, after the bow had been built, they went outside at dawn and he shot the arrow as far as he could. Now there's many different versions of this, and so some of the versions say he shot over 1,000 leagues, or he shot a 40 days walk, or that he shot from dawn all the way until dusk. So the arrow didn't drop until the sun had gone down. Now, because of that, he was praised, and he was given a lot of military accolades. They eventually made him a general, and he went on to live out the rest of his days in high regard. Now, the reason why this is a myth is because it does use that one thing that no ordinary human can do, which was he shot an arrow over 1,000 leagues. Just like Odysseus could string a bow only he could string, Arash shot an arrow that only he could shoot. So, what we're going to do now is we're about to go to the fields of Shulin, where we are going to try and recreate Arash's myth and see which one of us is the best. Jump cut!
Excuse me, Prince.
All right, welcome to the fields of Shulin and the good old Persian myth. We're gonna do a game. For this, we don't want to shoot our arrow as far as we possibly can because we'll likely shoot it into our neighbor's garden. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to do a game where we're going to shoot the arrow as far as we can, but it can't cross this rope right here. So we're gonna try to get our arrows to land right in front of it without crossing. So any of the arrows that cross the line do not count, and the closest arrow to the line will be the winner. So that's how the game is going to work. We are going to shoot all the way from right on over here where Captain Crow is. So that's quite a distance, and he's going to try to get it as close to that line as he can without going over. So we're going to have Captain Crow. He's going to go ahead and shoot 3 arrows. He gets to keep the best of 3. That one went very, very, very much over. That was a good shot. It's about 1.5 feet away. Oh, crazy bounce. All right, Captain Crow, which of the 3 arrows would you like to use?
The only one that is legal, which is the white one.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab these ones.
And I will grab another one out that's not white, so that way we can see that I am white arrows. So let's see if Sir Robin can beat me. I think I got pretty close. Shot his first one, went just over, but he had a nice bounce on it, so it didn't go too far. Ooh, took a bad bounce. Last arrow. Oh, another bad bounce. All right, Sir Robin, which arrow are you going to leave?
I'm gonna keep that blue one.
That blue one. Awesome. So now Lady Fern can go ahead and grab her arrows out of the arrow holder. Ooh, just over. Whoa!
Let's see if I can get a little bit better.
Oh, very close, Lady Fern. But let's go ahead and inspect which is the closest arrow. And as we can see,
It's mine! Oh, it's not. I'm just kidding.
it was Lady Fern. Congratulations, Lady Fern.
Yeah!
Alrighty, then let's go ahead and send it back to Sir Robin in next to the castle.
Jump cut!
Jump cut.
Are we on? Alright, excellent. Alright, welcome once again back next to the castle. As you can see, the geese, they're there. We'll skip that joke today. The castle, it's there. And I'm here. So, moving on. Now that we've learned so much about the Persian Empire, we will go ahead and move into our favorite thing. Exercising next to the castle. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with some stretches. So Captain Crow, come on up and help me stretch. All right, we're gonna start with some good old arm stretches. So the first one, take your arm, put it across, and then stretch right here. All right, here we go. On three. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, switch it up. Remember, if you're in our older class, go ahead and push yourself to do it longer. All right, this direction, here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. The other direction, here we go. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Other direction, here we go. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. All right, we're going to do good old arm circles. Here we go. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, back the other direction. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we're going to go ahead and touch our toes. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. All right, now we're going to go ahead and speed it all the way on up with running in place. 10 seconds. Here we go. High knees. Ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, woo. ran really far.
Yes, almost 90 days worth of running.
Almost 90 days. If we would have had a horse, we could have done that in only 3 seconds. All right, moving on. Jumping jacks. Ready and go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I liked how we had a little bit of a jingle in there.
I know, quite jingly today.
Jingly, jingly. All right, must be all those Shulin coins in your pocket.
I believe I just got a shipment of Phoenix shards in and I forgot to take them out of my pocket.
They're so jingle jangly. All right, now after them good old jumping jacks, we are going to go ahead and move on to my favorite, which is burpees. So Captain Crow has been preparing all week to do his best burpees. So he's gonna go ahead and do a good old, what do you say, 5? 5 of them. If you've been doing them, challenge yourself to do more. But here we go. All right, Captain Crow.
All right. So go ahead and count for me. You
All
guys
right.
can count on when I'm up.
All right.
Perfect. Here we go.
1, 2. He jumped almost all the way to the geese. 3, 4,
My hat has come off.
5. Excellent. All right. That was a good 5. All right. Now that we've done that, it's time to go ahead and do my other favorite. I have so many favorite things. My favorite today is definitely the push-ups. The push-ups. All right, 10 push-ups. Here we come. Ready? Go.
1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
10.
All right. All right. 10 jumping jacks, 10 burpees, 10 good old push-ups. All right. That is all the time we have as far as stretching and a little bit of exercise. Remember, you can always do your own, and do more is what I challenge everyone to do. But to quickly recap everything that we covered today, we talked about the Persian Empire. They started in the 16th century. Many historians say that that same kind of empire lasted all the way up until the 1796. They invented the composite bow, which sounds very much like our myth story where that angel or that being or whatever came down and told them how to construct a special bow, at least in their myth. I'm sure that there is some truth to that story in that someone told them how to create a really cool composite bow. And so the truth is that we do have a composite bow from them. So we have that. Also, we have learned that they used fire arrows and that they worked in volleys. We worked in volleys. But one thing that we didn't necessarily learn was their shields. The Persian army used shields to defend their archers from other arrow attacks. So if other arrows were going to be shooting down on their archers, you didn't want your archers to be shot and hurt, so you would construct a shield out of wicker. You would construct it out of wicker.
What's wicker?
Wicker, it's a type of plant where you can weave it together to make a type of shield. And they would be nice and big and long so that they could protect the archers. And so, our homework for today is to develop our own shield out of materials that we have at home. And to also decorate our shield. So, your homework is to decorate your shield as well as making it. So, for my older students, I challenge you to do some research on wicker shields of the Persian Empire and see if you could do something similar so that you're actually constructing and weaving something together. Some ideas to use for your shield is cardboard, as well as maybe a top from a bucket. You're also going to need something on the back side to hold on to. You can't just hold your shield like this. You're going to have to hold it in the back with one hand so that you could use a weapon in your other hand so that you could deflect arrows that are coming at you. So your job is to make a shield out of materials you have at home. And until next week, I think that's all we have. So let's go ahead. Hands on in. Hands on in. Hands on in. Hands on in. 3. Oh, on 3, let's say pants, because they also invented pants.
Yes. And
Yeah.
pants are very important.
Pants are important. All right, on 3, pants. 1, 2, 3, pants!